The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
Again.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
I think she's got it. I think she's got it.
The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain.
By George, she's got it. By George, she's got it.
How do you like this segment? Isn't this great? My Fair Lady is a totally different type of musical. It is a love story as well, but it's about Professor Henry Higgins and how he's trying to get Eliza to change and to be able to pass her off as royalty to his friends in British society. And really, with this program, what we're finding is that Higgins is trying to get Eliza to get rid of her accent. But accent is also something we use in floral design to improve our designs and to make our designs more interesting. And this segment is all about accent. Again, we wanted to stay with a very simple color scheme here. We wanted to make it very clear what we were doing, and we decided mostly white flowers with the black accents would be great. This is a buffet table that we've set up for a party. And again, we have these beautiful wreaths. They are constructed on the Oasis wreath forms. There's a wooden dowel in the center with just 2 slits in the top to make an X, so that the ribbon that is tied around the wreaths is very easily placed through those slits. The nice part about that is, no matter where you put this, even if the floor is a little bit uneven, you can then slide that ribbon a little bit to adjust it to get a very even, balanced look to the wreath that's hanging there. But again, this is all about accent. We've started with masses of white hydrangea and white stock, roses, all grouped together to give us a little bit of strength in design. But we have accented all of this with the beading. How do you like the beadwork on this? Isn't that great? It's funny because in that opening segment, we have Higgins saying to Eliza, I think she's got it, I think she's got it. And every time somebody new came down to the workroom, we kind of dragged them over, said, hey, would you like to help? And we're working on this big, big, fabulous arrangement. And when they say yes, we take them over to the beading table, okay? It was great, but everybody was just absolutely wonderful. But you know, you'd show somebody, and they'd be like, okay, here's a little bit of this, and is that right? No, it's not quite right, do this. And then they would do that, then all of a sudden, you know, oh, I think they've got it. I think they've got it. So, you know, 69 strands of beads later, it all came out great. But these guys have done a fantastic job. Again, we've taken the wreaths, and these garlands are made independently and left off the design until we get to the installation site. Most of the garlands are done in sections, so we've decided we needed maybe 20 pieces of garland that are 4 feet long and 20 pieces of garland that are 2.5 feet long. And it's a very random, you know, tying with the Oasis. The bullion wire, that thin bullion wire is fantastic. It's thin enough so it goes through any of the beads very easily, but it also has that little bit of a kink to it so that when you twist it or knot it, it'll actually stay in place very nicely without sliding too much. We have glass beads, these beautiful glass beads. Most of them have some type of a white detail painted on them, either spiraled or just dotted or whatever in that fashion. The lucite beads are done in here in both the clear lucite bead, and there's one that is called an AB finish, which basically has that opalescent gloss to it. So you get a little bit of color and a little bit of reflection of light. And if you're in an area with good lighting, you can see how nicely the light picks up all the acrylic, and it just looks like glass, and it's just beautiful. We were lucky enough to find a beautiful tablecloth, again from BBJ. This one is called Black Orleans, and the pattern on it I thought was just very classic and very representative of that English society that is in My Fair Lady. There is a scene in that play, and it's in the movie as well, and it's called the Ascot scene. And everything and everybody in that scene is dressed in black and white. And that's what we wanted to duplicate with the look here. Again, some beautiful china, some charger plates, you know, duplicating the theme. On these stanchions, on the wood dowel, the thing holding it in place is actually something found in a hardware store, and it's meant for a patio to hold a tiki torch. But they're great, great little appliances to have because they're usually wrought iron or something very heavy. A dowel fits into there perfectly, and there's a screw mechanism. You just tighten it up, and it's heavy enough to hold the weight. These, you know, wreaths are pretty substantial, but it's tight enough to hold the weight. And again, then we've just taken a carpet of dendrobiums, very similar in fashion to what we've done with the rose petals, and we've just carpeted it straight through with just piles and piles of dendrobiums, which could easily be, picked off the stems the day before, put in buckets, and just laid in place that day. But again, I think it's very simple, but it gives a classic look. Do you like the table so far from My Fair Lady? Thank you. Now for the room divider for this, what we've decided to do is make a panel. You could do this 1 panel, 2 panels, 3 panels, whatever. But we've just taken 2x4 lumber, constructed it, painted it, put some legs on it, and we've just strung 10-foot garlands of beads just in random order. But isn't this a great idea for just separating a room in a room that you don't actually need to be totally blocked off from another space? But it gives you enough definition that you know you're within a more enclosed area. So we have the beautiful panel here. So I think that people that would come to this hopefully would just want to dance all night with a party like this. How do you like it? And while they're playing that music, Dance All Night, we're just going to throw out a couple top hats at the audience, and anybody who wants to put one on, please don't come up and dance, but we'll just keep this out.
Could have danced all night and still